Welcome to the Profit Show. I almost forgot the name of the show, man. The Profit First Show. That's a shame, ain't it? Anyways, I'm dedicated to just showing up to this thing, man. We got so many topics. I watch so much content to get this show together for you all. I almost forgot the name of my own damn show. All right, but anyways, welcome to the Profit First Show. I'm your host, Jay Askew. Tonight, we're going to be covering 4 topics. This includes people getting frustrated about money, people getting offended because of the EBT SNAP new requirements to work, and people explaining what they make and why it's not enough anymore. Not only that, but oh God, if you know, you know. Earlier this morning, we had a live stream. We talked about the EBT thing, and it went crazy, man. Like the computer was saying that we ran out of memory, and then something else was going on where the screen was freezing, and I'm like, yo, we got to do it again. I gotta give quality. You know what I'm saying? So, well, you know what? That was another thing too. My mind is everywhere. I had caffeine and I worked out before the show, so that's why we're jumping subject to subject before we start. But I just wanted to let you all know we got monetized on YouTube. So shout out to you all for, hey, being here. You know what I'm saying? Taking the time out your day, your night, and watching the show, watching the clips. I appreciate every single one of you all. I wouldn't be able to be here without you all for sure. So I appreciate you, and I promise to give you quality content all the time. All right. Anyways, let's get into the first topic of tonight, which is, oh my God, a woman does not want to tip. She doesn't want to tip, but she has a story to tell behind it as to why she doesn't want to tip. So let's go ahead and get into it.
So something really wild happened today, like real wild, and we're going to get into it, but I just want to say real quick, this whole wanting tips for everything is getting a little out of hand. It's getting a little out of control. And I just want to preface, I tip everywhere I go, and I tip well. But this was a service that I had already paid for. Okay, I paid $100 for them to, I paid $100 to Home Depot for them to deliver my new range and take my old one out. That's what I paid for the service.
Her range?
So these 2 guys show up, really sweet at first. The first guy came in, got my range. It took him less than 2 minutes. He manhandled the range onto a dolly, took it out the front door. Boom, done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I mean, it probably wasn't that easy, but he made it look that way. And then they get the new range and they're rolling it in, and immediately he's complaining the whole way. Which I say the whole way like it was a long way. It wasn't. He's complaining that my driveway is too inclined, which it's not. It's at an incline, but it's not anything crazy compared to my neighbors and stuff like that. It's not bad at all. And then he's complaining, we have a little corridor in front of our front door, and there's bricks on either side, and it's not even that tight. He's complaining that the bricks are too close together and blah, blah, blah. And at first I thought he was joking because the other guy was smiling and laughing, and I was like, oh, ha ha. But he just kept complaining. And eventually I said, well, I guess you're going to have to take that up with the person that built this home. And then he stopped, and I'm like, that's freaking wild. And then he starts getting into, the last person, and he's mentioning tipping him. And I'm like, I could tell that he's telling me that he wants a tip. And I immediately said, I was like, I think I only have $6 cash. I was like, it never even crossed my mind that I would need to tip these guys. And that's not because I'm inconsiderate or not being thoughtful or anything like that. I had already paid that. So obviously to Home Depot, right? Now, whatever Home Depot.
So here's the thing. A lot of people don't know when you get something done for you and it's delivered, they're not making that money. It's Home Depot, and then they distribute it to the delivery drivers or the delivery men. So it is a little bit different. They probably don't even see how much you paid, more than likely. And if they do, they're not getting that whole percentage. So
pays them, because he went on and on about, we're contracted to Home Depot. We don't get paid by the hour. We get paid by the job. Whose fault? Is that not what you signed up for? Did you not sign up for that? I don't know what Home Depot's paying you. That's none of my business. But
that is true. And you can't blame her for not giving more money when she paid for the service. Now, tipping is generous, but the way this guy handled it definitely made her not want to find a way how to give more in a tip. She was like, I think I only have $6. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so grateful I learned sales, because communication is everything. Knowing not what to say, but how to say it. What you say is not as important as how you say it. My man over here is talking to her, talking about, well, hopefully you can give us a tip. He's coming from a lower aspect, as in he's a beggar, and beggars can't be choosers. But if you were to ask something like, you know, he's over here not complaining, and he's also giving her conversation to build some rapport. At the end of the day, she may just want a tip just because she had a great experience. And you don't even have to ask. That doesn't guarantee you would have gotten a tip. But let's continue on to hear what she said and what happened in this story.
He's just like carrying on about how, people are tipping. So I pulled all the cash I had out of my wallet, which was $6. I said, I'm so sorry. Like, I wasn't aware. I didn't even think that I would need to tip y'all. So I gave him all the cash I had. And then he keeps going. It wasn't even the fact that he asked me for a tip. The next part is wild. Buckle up. Then he goes on to tell me, well, God's been blessing us all day. One lady was giving us snacks and drinks and stuff, and I could tell that he was wanting those things from me. And in my head, I'm like, do you want my children's snacks?
Bro, what the?
What do you want from me, bro? To put in my range and leave. Like, this is a service that I paid for. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be rude, but like, this guy was,
yeah,
I don't know, pushing it. I don't know. So he's talking about snacks and drinks. And I'm like, dude, I don't have any bottled water. We have an RO machine. That's what we drink out of. Okay. I don't have any bottled water. I think I had a couple of Dr. Peppers. I said, I think I have a couple of Dr. Peppers. Do you want some Dr. Peppers? Like,
nah, I'm good. We over here doing physical work outside, and I'm gonna drink some sugar and some carbonated. I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate it, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish the job. You know what? We wouldn't even have this conversation because bro is over here asking for snacks. Bro, just take your lunch break once you're done with this. You feel me?
And he was like, oh, nah, that's fine. Then he was like, and then one lady zelled us. My dude, I ain't zelling you ish. I'm not zelling you. I am flabbergasted at this point, okay? Flabbergasted. My flabber is gasted. He basically asked me to zell him a tip. And then
this could have been turned around by literally not complaining, giving her some type of conversation as she's seeing you all interact and do whatever you do with the delivery from Home Depot. And then at the end of her experience, ma'am, it was a pleasure serving you. It would be I would highly appreciate it if you could leave a great review. And if you feel it in your heart to give a tip to us, we'd highly appreciate that as well, as it goes a long way. Hope you have a blessed day. People don't know how to communicate. Ain't nothing wrong with asking for a tip. There's nothing wrong with giving a tip. It's the way she had this experience, and I don't blame her. I actually thought that she was going to be, a little stuck up, a little stingy, but I wouldn't want to help somebody like this either. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below, though, because everybody doesn't see it from my perspective, and that's cool.
He made that comment, oh, God's been blessing us. God ain't been blessing you, dude. That is not God's blessings. That is you being manipulative and guilt tripping people into giving you anything and everything that you can get your hands on.
Facts.
God ain't in that, homie. And I don't know who you think you're talking to, but let me tell you, you're talking to a woman of God. And I will tell you right now, God ain't in that. He ain't in the deception that you're doing right now. I see right through you. And as if that wasn't enough, no, we're not done yet. He said, hey, you're about to get a text message. Can you go ahead and click on that there link? I said, okay. He said, go ahead and click start survey. And if you could.
Okay, what did I just tell y'all? What did I just say? I didn't even know that there was going to be a survey. But again, learning how to communicate, y'all, is one of the most valuable things anyone can do. Because truth be told, This is sales. This is sales 101. You getting what you want after giving people what they need. There's nothing wrong with asking, but it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. You feel me? And most people look at salespeople and go, oh man, they're sleazy, they're manipulative. And there are people like that. That's this guy. And he may not even be in the sales industry. He's a delivery guy. But it's important for everybody to know how to communicate. Why? Because communication can not only help you earn more, shoot, I'm communicating you right now. You know what I'm saying? And YouTube is paying me to communicate to you, and she's communicating to us. And he would have made the money if he learned how to communicate. Communication takes you further than a lot of things.
Give us fives across the board, that would be great. While he's standing there, what was I supposed to do? I gave them freaking 5 stars across the board because he's standing there watching me.
Yeah. That's too much.
I'm at a loss for words. Okay.
And you know, I'm the type of guy, I'm upfront with people. See, if this was me, I'm not offended by him asking, but don't be a beggar. Don't try to be manipulative, right? And I don't even like the word try because you either are or you aren't. You feel me? And when someone comes to me with those type of intentions, I'm just straight up with them. I'm like, look, well, the rating really does depend on what's done between now and when it's done. I'll give you an honest rating. I'm a cool guy. Let's get to work though. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you're not about to stand over my shoulder. And then, yeah, I believe that this is happening because she's also a woman. Like, women go through certain things. Ladies, let me know in the comment section down below. Have you ever been through an experience like this? Because I believe that certain things just don't happen like to an individual depending on their gender. Let me know in the comment section down below.
And then they left. That's what happened. Wild.
Yeah, dude just didn't know how to communicate, which left her. She didn't even talk about how well of a job they did. He could have done a great job, but his communication ruined the whole experience. Sometimes silence is the best response. Have a little chit chat, have a little conversation, build some rapport. That just means, hey, ma'am, how your day going? That's good. That's good. I know you're probably busy, so let me go ahead and get this done, and then I'll tell you when we wrapped it up, and then I'll be back right with you, and we'll get out your way. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Okay, cool. At the end of your job, ma'am, also, you're going to receive a text message, and it's going to ask you how well you think we did. We highly appreciate it if it's in your heart to give us an honest rating, and if it's in your heart to leave us a tip if you feel we deserved it. That's it. You can't make somebody do something that you want them to do or manipulate. Like, you can manipulate certain people, but obviously she was aware of it. I'm glad. I'm proud that people are, standing up. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he was trying to bully her or anything, but it's just like, who wants to tip somebody like that? You feel me? Like, we tip because we're like, man, they're really good. They really showed that they care. They really did a good service. And that's when you tip generously. You know what I'm saying? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. And subscribe if you like the content. All right. That was a success. I'm glad that the screen didn't freeze up, y'all. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into the second segment of tonight, which is, this is a crazy story. So some girl ended up, like, basically, oh man, I'm just going to play the video. Y'all got to see this. This is insane.
I said, you buy the car and then you take me out on a date.
All right.
All right?
Well, first I gotta see what you're trying to
Whether
offer.
you buy a car or not, you still take me out on a date, right?
I don't think the date is included.
The date's included.
It's required?
It's required. It's part of the entrance fee.
What?
So no.
Let me see what you got first.
That means no. Never mind. You're not buying the car, we're not going on a date. It's all right.
This is the type of guy that women specifically are not even interested in. And it's because of his character. Bro is so obsessed with getting a date from a woman that he's manipulate or attempting to manipulate her into paying $10,000 more if she doesn't go on a date. This video blew up on social media. Watch what happens next.
What?
Say, you're not buying the car, we're not going on a date, so it's alright.
Wait, she is buying the car, but I don't know about
So
the
if I
date.
can't sell it to you because it's beyond me, we still can go on a date. It's just a question. I'm not saying this
Bro,
is
what in the what? I just be wondering sometimes, man, how some dudes actually think this don't even she's not showing any interest in you. You know what I'm saying? She's not showing any interest in you. She's signed, this guy. Bro, even if she's agreeing to go on a date, she could very much lie. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be in that contract that she has to go on a date. But she could very much lie and get away with it. I'm glad she's standing up. This is sleazy salesperson tactics. And this way, way out the range of being professional. He's looking for relations. You know what I'm saying? Like this is OD. It doesn't make sense how some guys think that a woman would be interested in them from the first impression on how they approach them. First of all, I'm gonna just say this and be done. Fellas, if you're watching this and you find yourself struggling to get the women that you actually like or are attracted to, work on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Work on your character, work on your confidence. You know, also only go for the women that actually want you. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get the women that you want. You see a girl that's attractive, how can you make yourself more attractive? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, she still may not be attracted to you, but that's the point. There's plenty of fish in the sea, but this ain't the way, bruh. He's he is literally, you gonna go on a date with me? You gonna go on a woman that wants you is gonna ask you sometimes. Is going to ask you, hey, when we going out? When am I gonna see you again? Man, it's crazy, man.
out of that, but I'm just asking.
All right. In order for me to see what you're gonna show me, I gotta go to the date.
No, I'm just saying, whether it makes sense to you or not. You offered the date. I don't think I did.
I didn't offer.
Oh, my bad. I was in there.
I never said anything.
Oh, it was me then.
Yeah.
So no.
Can I see what you have?
What would that even make a difference?
Well, I'm here
So
for
no.
a
Do you
car.
Do you feel comfortable? Or because no, it's
I'm making a joke.
no,
I'm making a
it's not a
joke.
joke at this point because you've been at
Bro, so she has a friend or a relative there too? This dude is bold, bro.
for like the past
I'm kidding.
hour.
I asked for a plate.
No, it's
Ask
not
for a plate.
fair.
Ask
She
for a plate.
came in for a car and you're already here
I'm asking for a second. And I
for
earlier
a second. What?
I have a plane already. I'm waiting for the plane. So
That-
before
I
you more or
mean,
less start getting
no,
like that.
That's rude.
It is
That's
rude.
it's rude for you to like.
It was
why?
a
Because
joke.
she's a
It was a
no,
joke.
but it's not funny.
was
At
a
this
joke.
point,
This
it's not
is a
funny.
This is one of the reasons why I believe women in certain circumstances need a man around them, because certain dudes like this, they're not going to try to pull off stuff like this, even if it's like your brother, your father, you know what I'm saying? A friend. Like, this is some weird stuff, man. It's some weird stuff. It's some weird dudes out here. I didn't know it was like this. I don't even hang around dudes like that. I'm, you know what I'm saying? When I was single, I'm riding solo because I don't even like being represented. And that's not dissing my friends, but I'm like, I don't like being represented by other people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a politician. I don't need to be on a podium. Like I'm good. You feel me? This is
Serious matter. We're talking about buying a car. We're talking
know,
about
I
money.
know, I know.
We're talking
But
about
here, I have it for you.
finances.
Here. It's a joke. Relax.
We can't. We can only tolerate so much.
I hold it.
Well, you were holding the paperwork.
No. I
hostage.
had it the whole time. I was just more or less.
now he's trying to back himself up. Another thing is, why do men, right, mix their money with pleasure? There's no way I'm flirting, I'm talking to, I'm trying to go out on date on with any woman if I'm at work. You're not about to fuck up my money. You know what I'm saying? That's not about to happen. That's not about to happen. I'm not about to jeopardize that in any circumstances at all. These dudes have no principles. The reason why we're covering this is one, it involves money. Two, we gotta have fun sometimes, right? This is entertaining.
Telling you.
Yeah, but you didn't
I
want to
can tell you
proceed.
exactly here. Here's
And now you're disrupting me. Okay.
Now I'm not gonna talk to you like that either.
But you were so
Well-
quick to be disrespectful in the beginning.
And I apologize.
Saying, "Oh, if you don't,
It was a
if I
joke.
don't go on a date with you,
It's
okay,
over,
well,
bro.
Relax.
They putting that
Now,
shit
if
on
you wanna
social
take that as
media.
a game, again, it's a joke.
Is it a
It's
joke
not a
when
joke
you're
when
holding the
it's
paper?
Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I need my
Because you're like judging me. I'll bring you another my list. That's what you want.
Thank you.
Would you like a water or coffee?
Oh, we
hates
have
me
water.
already. She hates me already.
I have water. Thank you.
Damn, they got his face too.
She said.
Oh no, she didn't say that.
She just said that. Price just went up.
Oh, what?
I said price just went up.
For what?
Because she said I was crazy.
Oh, she didn't say that.
No me gusta estar perdiendo tu tiempo. Porque yo estoy aquí hasta las 10 y ustedes no. ¿Me entiendes? Yo estoy aquí hasta las 10 y ustedes me están dando su tiempo. Y su tiempo.
The fact that they're being treated like this is insane. This is what makes salespeople look bad. Terrible. And it's sad to say, but negativity definitely spreads faster than positivity. It spreads more than positivity. But the fact that somebody would jack up the price $10,000 all because a woman wouldn't comply or agree to go on a date is insane. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. This isn't something that I approve of at all. I'm glad she actually filmed it because these these people out here who try to take advantage of people and think that they're not going to be caught in the act. It's crazy, man. This is insane, honestly. Subscribe if you like the content. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Yo, I think all right, y'all. So, yo, I was on the wrong topic. We're catching the flow of this show. This is the early stages. I can't wait until we like master this stuff. But we're gonna master it. Let this be an example that entrepreneurship is not easy. I used to think everybody can do it, everybody can start it, and everybody can, but it's really about perseverance at the end of the day. I just noticed that I had the wrong topic up. So that's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and change the topic bar in the actual clip so I can edit it out. But that's entrepreneurship for you. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and cover the third topic of tonight, which is these EBT requirements. This is people are literally pissed about this EBT stuff, man. So let's get right into it. Let's go.
They wanted me calling the food stamp office until they give me some stamps. Since they say I don't qualify, I'm finna call and put my stomach on the phone. Yeah.
She's already acting childish. Imagine working at a place where you're both adults and the other person is on the other line and they're playing sounds in your ear. And they're talking about how they're hungry. And she looks like she's eligible to work. Maybe she's not, but I'm pretty sure she is. As a matter of fact, she got 2 phones. What is she doing right now to where she can't get food in her stomach? But she has the audacity to make content about complaining to another grown woman who's working for a company, who's working like she can't feed herself. But her edge is done, though.
You hear my stomach growling. I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Hell nah.
Yes, I filled out plenty of applications with y'all. But y'all don't want to give it to a person in need. Y'all want to give it to just anybody. Anybody but me. Anybody but me.
There go that victim mentality mindset. It's not even a race thing. It's a character thing right there. There we go.
I said I'm hungry, not homeless, ma'am. Hungry.
Yes, ma'am, I do apologize about that, but if I can't do anything if you don't qualify here.
Ma'am, there's nothing I can do for you, sweetheart. Ma'am, it's one thing you could do for me. You could push the application through for me, please. I'm hungry.
Yo, she got hung up on, man. Yeah. Good for her.
I've been receiving food stamps for the last 7 years.
That's too long.
Consistently. I just received a letter in the mail telling me that I now have to do community service.
I like where we're going with this. It's teaching you a valuable lesson about work ethic. You need to take heed of this lesson and, embrace it.
Hours, at least 15 hours a week.
15 hours a week? Let's up that. Let's get to 30. Let's get to 40. Teach you what a work week's.
Facts. Why do people who hate this new requirement of EBT for you to work 80 hours a month, which is only 20 hours a week, which is a part-time job? Most people work 80 hours in 2 weeks. This is not even counting overtime. Why do they believe they're entitled to not have to work not one bit in order to get some free food?
Like, that would be the way to go.
I have to take out of my time things that I do every day.
You don't work. You have a lot of free time.
It's so crazy to me how people who don't track their time complain about the time they don't have. See, you can't improve something that you don't track. You feel me? This is why people are terrible with money. People are terrible with being in shape. People are terrible with counting their calories because they don't track certain things. They don't set their systems up for success in their life. They just let life control them. And then they look back and it's like by the time that they have a situation that they'd rather not be in, it's too late to make a choice to get out of it before it happens because it's already happening.
To do community service so that I can still continue to receive the benefits that I receive.
I think this is a wonderful program they are starting. Make these people learn that work ethic and working matters and get them in the mode of, supporting themselves.
Look, man, with great power comes great responsibility. We don't need to be rocket scientists in order for us to know that. We could just watch Spider-Man and we know Uncle Ben said that. So if your stomach grumbling and you can work, you might want to get to work.
We've coddled too long. Let's get out.
I agree.
I voted for Trump, and I don't agree with him taking away the EBT benefits from the American people. This is what I just heard a creator say. And so now my thought process is, were you not aware of what you were voting for? Not who, but what? Because clearly you could not have been fully aware. So then that makes me think, when most people are voting, like, with this past election, were we just making votes because Trump was a white man? And
I hate it when I hear people talk about, the white people voted for Trump and the black people wanted to, man, listen, if we don't move beyond the color of a person, it doesn't dictate their character. Now, those of you who believe that, you're living in old age. You know what I'm saying? Like, to a certain degree, you do have demographics, but it's really about the choices the person makes. And that's called character. There's a poster that I have in another room, and I love it. I'm actually might move it into my office here because the poster says, watch your thoughts because your thoughts become your words. Watch your words because your words become your actions. Watch your actions because your actions become your habits. Watch your habits because your habits become your character. Watch your character because your character dictates your destiny. It ain't got nothing to do with skin color. But people are always going to talk about, these people voted for this person because of this. Bro, you can vote for somebody the opposite pigmentation of you because you actually agree with their character. And don't get me wrong, I don't believe any politician out here, we can all say, I agree with every single thing that they do. If you do, then you're just blind as a bat. At the end of the day, you don't even agree with your mama with everything, and neither do I. So to look at these people and be like, well, this is why they chose him. Shut up with that mess, man. Just shut up. Because this is how people get taken advantage of. Vote for her, be on her side because she the same skin color as you. You should be able to you should support your sister. You should support your brother. Listen, bruh, everybody that's my skin color ain't my brother, and everybody who's my skin color ain't my sister. It's about the character. It's about the character. And I know people gonna get touchy about it. I don't give a damn. I said what I said.
Kamala is a black woman or a woman? Is that what your vote was based on, rather than what was going to come into play from each of these candidates? This is why we have to read. We have to read to understand why we are making the choices that
them people ain't gonna read. They're not gonna read. They stopped reading once they got out of high school and college.
So Trump is supposedly changing the requirements to qualify for EBT, Section 8, and welfare. So if you are on these things or trying to get on these things, Trump is requiring you to work at least 30 hours a week to...
I heard it was 80 hours a month, which is 20 hours a week. Now, if you do your 30 hours in a week, okay, so be it. But people, they don't want to work, bruh. They getting free food. That's called stealing.
Maintain or qualify for these assistances. This is one of those changes that he's making that I don't think I'm upset with, because a lot of people use these assistances as crutches because they know that they can rely on this and don't have to do anything or do the bare minimum.
I was very surprised when I heard her say this, because you don't hear a lot of people talk about this at all. You don't hear people talk like this because it's against the majority. Most people gonna cry, bro. Oh, what about kids? No, I don't want to see no kids struggle, bro. But here's the truth. You created them kids 9 times out of 10. So stop creating new babies when you in the struggle yourself. I've told y'all before, I'm not having no children until I'm financially set. That number for me is very much different from most people. Why? Because that's my standard. Everybody got different standards. But if you're the type of person to be complaining about what the government isn't going to give you because of your own choices, that is your fault. That is your responsibility. And that's exactly what's kept Americans stuck and in this system, because they aren't responsible for their own actions. If this system did not exist, what would you do?
So he's kind of pulling that crutch away from them and taking that dependency away from them. So I don't think I'm mad with this one. But if you're one of those that I'm talking about that know that they get this and they're lazy as hell and they voted for him, don't you dare complain, because this is who you voted for.
Imagine voting for Trump and then complaining about the decision he made for those who are eligible to work. You got to work in order to continue getting your EBT benefits, right? Imagine being a person that voted for Trump and you don't agree with working in order to get your benefits. Now, here's the thing. I just don't know what goes on in people's head to understand why they want to benefit from things in life. When you benefit from things in life, 9 times out of 10, you got to work for it. And in the work itself, it becomes a struggle, kind of like working out. You get sweaty, you get uncomfortable, your heart rate is up, your muscles are sore. But at the end of the day, months down the line, you look better. Your clothes fit better. You're in shape. So the reward is the reward because of the pain you went through. Now, if Trump is removing the crutch from you not having to work and you gotta get your money up, listen, Trump is telling people you gotta work. Okay, doesn't that mean you have more money in your pocket? Just like you was complaining about, oh, we can't buy the junk food, we can't buy the sodas and the chips. Well, now your ass can, because you're gonna be working. So buy all the chips you can, because that's what the working class have to do. When I go out and I want to buy some, I don't eat chips. When I go out and eat popcorn, right? Because it's a low calorie snack, guess what? That's the money I worked for. Now you're just like the rest of us.
Want to see a racist?
Want to know why I'm not having an aneurysm over people losing their food stamps on November 1st? Here's why.
Come good shot. Okay. Go by faster. One of you. This what I pick, and it's what you pick.
I tell you what, how about this instead? If you're on food stamps, you get a pre-selected box of meat, bread, rice, food staples, and fruits and vegetables. No more handing you a debit card filled with other people's cash for you to go load up on Oreos.
What is it about government assistance that brings out the racism in people? Most SNAP...
I don't get why he's calling her a racist. Again, she never said anything about color or anything like that. And I get it. Things can be nonverbal as well. But listen up. This literally reminded me of free lunch in school. Now, I was blessed enough to where my parents made enough that we didn't have to get free lunch. My parents had to give us lunch money. Well, I had friends that had lunch money. And then once I grew up and matured, I learned that those who got free lunch probably fell under a certain tax bracket, right? So here's the thing. If it wasn't a problem then to have a strict choice in school when you couldn't afford to pay for lunch money, why is it a problem outside of school? You still get to eat. You just have limited choice. And just like those who got lunch money, like myself, when I was in middle school and high school and elementary school, in order to get the extra snacks, my parents still had to give me extra money. They actually encouraged me. They were not encouraged me. They told me, they were like, don't be getting no snacks. You can get one snack off of this $25 check. After that, don't buy no more snacks because the lunch money is going to be empty. And I ain't got all that money to be giving you. You know what I'm saying? So I was even limited by what my parents had given me. But why is it a problem when we're adults? Why do they have problems with it? This has nothing to do with racism, bro. But I can't even say black people. But people just like to slap racist stuff. Just oh, she's a racist, bro. Chill out, bro. It's called principles.
Recipients are white women. It was diabolical for you to find a black woman and use her as your face of the abuse of SNAP. That video probably would have looked a lot different if you'd used a white woman with her children, but this country loves to give the white working class a sense of superiority over black.
See, here's my perspective. Even though most people probably would have seen it like he says, they would have seen it. Oh, if it was a white woman, they wouldn't have said this, that, and the third. Here's the thing. I personally look at the food first. I'm like, this food is processed. It's trash. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't eat that. I feel bad that they're eating that. And if somebody's on the internet flexing about, oh, I've been on Snap for 7 years, I'm like, why haven't you wanted to help yourself? You're so stuck to the umbilical cord that you don't want to let go. You don't want to grow up and be a big boy or a big girl. You're tripping. I've always took pride in owning my own. Some people are just flat out lazy.
People. Every dollar spent in the SNAP program leads to $1.50 returning to the economy. It also creates consumers out of people who would not be. That woman would not have been able to spend $400 in that store if not for SNAP. And that helps everybody who works in the store, everybody who delivers to that store, everybody who relies on that store. Because if you subtract a significant portion of that store's consumers, a significant portion of the consumers to the economy who happen to be working class people who are getting their money from SNAP, then the store will have to raise its prices. If you remove a bunch of consumers, the store will have to raise its prices.
And I personally don't have a problem with the store raising their prices. You know why? Because I focus on what I can attain more than what I can't get. This is the mindset of the poor, and this is the mindset of a lot of middle class that keeps them stuck. They think on a basic level of, oh, well, The price is going up. I can't afford it. Well, how about you ask yourself the question, how can I afford it? It doesn't cost you anything extra. Actually, the question is free to ask. Instead of saying, dang, can't get that no more. Why not ask yourself, how can I get something like that? Now you're forcing your brain to think of creative ways for you to attain those things. I read that in a book somewhere. I forgot where. I think it was Rich Dad Poor Dad, but it was a gem when I read it years ago.
And that will make life harder for you, white lady. I know you think that black woman is just taking from you, but what she...
And here's another thing, man. So let me break this down. He just explained that if they take away the SNAP benefits from this woman who's abusing the system, right, then a white woman is going to suffer because the prices are going up, right? Here's the thing. This is the mindset of poor people, literally. You think because someone has more of something, you have less. And so it's like, oh, if this person is benefiting, then they're taking away from me. And if I'm benefiting, I'm taking away from other people. It's not like that. Money is abundant, man. So at the end of the day, it's just circulating. But so many people had this mindset because we were raised like that. But it's our responsibility to fix that. And a lot of people aren't aware of that. This is why I make certain videos like this, because you can hear it in the conversations. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below.
Inadvertently doing is helping keep prices down for you. But the heartlessness is... Whew. But some people find it so easy to be heartless when it comes to poor black people. If you say you love America, but you don't love the people in it, then what are you talking about? You can say...
I can't hear no more of this, man. He keeps on bringing up poor black people. I hate the victim mindset. I just don't understand. Actually, I do understand it because I used to have this mindset. But once I learned that self-education and investing into myself, it didn't have a skin color behind it, I stopped feeling like a victim. I stopped consuming things that made me feel like I'm starting from less than. You know, so many people, it doesn't even matter what color you are, right? So many people feel like the things that happen to them in life is so bad that they don't have an advantage of getting out of there. But the truth is, you're going through the struggles that you're going through or that you went through in order to not only get out of that situation and be stronger, but to help other people. Okay, how many of you all knew that I was bullied in middle school and high school? Probably not a lot of you because I got a new audience. Okay, I was bullied in middle school and high school. I was 110 pounds when I graduated high school at 18 years old. Right now, I'm sitting at 195 pounds. So I respectfully gained almost 100 pounds within the time frame that I graduated high school just a couple years ago. Okay, so guess what? The reason why I stay so consistent with working out is because I decided once I graduated high school, I was going to make a new image to myself because I needed to grow respect for myself. I needed to stand up for myself. So I decided to have more discipline, and it sucked. When I first started working out and drinking protein shakes on a daily basis, I was getting laughed at. Who do you think you are? You love yourself too much. You're obsessed with yourself. Why do you go to the gym every day? Now people ask me, how do I get in shape? And I don't teach people how to get in shape no more because I found out that that brings me peace nowadays. But it all started from a pain, a struggle, an uncomfortable moment where I was at in life, and I progressed. I took advantage of the pain. Most people rather have this weak ass mindset of a slave and adapt to it like, oh, we can't, there's no way we can get out of this. You know, everybody who goes against us is just racist. They just must not like black people. They just might not like these type of people. Like bad stuff doesn't happen to other people as well. I'm gonna tell you right now, nobody watching this has a disadvantage that you can't take advantage of. It's all about your perception and your perspective, the way you're looking at it. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. I didn't even mean to take it here. We usually be talking about finances and money, but hey, this is the show, man. This is the Profit First show.
It is not selfish of me to want to keep what I earn. It is selfish of able-bodied people to demand that I pay for their groceries forever and ever. There is a massive amount of people on food stamps who have no business being on food stamps, and they should have been cut off a long time ago. We shouldn't need a government shutdown to cut those people off. If you are so angelic and generous that you just think that everybody should have free everything forever, then you can pay for that. It is not
Facts.
virtuous to force other people to pay for causes that you think are important. If you have kids under 6, there is no work requirement for food stamps and no time limit. And even if you don't have kids, you can stay on food stamps forever as long as you work a mere 20 hours a week.
So what are people complaining about? You see, this is what I'm talking about, looking through a different lens, just like I just said. I'm going to keep it real quick for y'all, right? People rather look at, oh, I have to work 20 hours. When you change up your words, you change your perspective. That's one of the ways that you can change your mindset without having to be rich, run into a lot of money, win the lottery. You know what I'm saying? Hear me out. Instead of saying, I have to work 20 hours in order to keep my EBT benefits, they can easily say, I get to work 20 hours. Oh, that changes everything now. Instead of saying something like, I have to, which makes it sound dreadful, I have to go to work. No, you get to go to work. Why? Because there's people who want to work that can't work. And so you have a blessing and you're looking at it in a way that's a curse. The reason why they don't want to work is because of their perspective. They're lazy, the way they talk to themselves, and they can depend on it for the rest of their lives. But now there's a new rule. The bare minimum has been raised, and I'm glad. The bare minimum bar has been raised. Another bare minimum that I don't really see the point of people complaining about is minimum wage. Oh, do you know how much minimum wage is? Bro, all you got to do is make $1 more than minimum wage and you're making more than minimum wage. Why complain about something that you can help yourself out of? Minimum wage is a set number. There are more opportunities for you to get paid more than minimum wage than it is for you to get paid minimum wage. You know how I know that? Numbers. Numbers are infinite. You're looking at a set fixed number, complaining about minimum wage, complaining about the bare minimum. And it's not everybody, it's just their mindset. It's just poor. It's just poor people thinking that they can't take advantage of the options that they have in life. And they'd rather live on the umbilical cord of the government. And then got the audacity to complain about how much they got to work when they're not even working a full-time shift.
I have not taken a week off since June of 2024. So forgive me if I don't feel bad for people who are working 20 hours a week complaining that their food stamps are getting cut off after they've been on that system for years and years, even though they are perfectly able-bodied.
I haven't waded into the SNAP discourse because it pisses me off, because it enrages me how wrong so many people are about a program they don't understand. They've never had to look at an application. They have no concept of how hard it is to actually get SNAP benefits and then keep them. Most of the individuals that you are complaining about are employed and trying to survive on something that you couldn't do. That you couldn't do at all.
How?
You are fueling manufactured rage at somebody who is taking a penny off of the ground while you're letting somebody walk out your house with every possession you own and your life savings to go into a military industrial complex or just to fatten up their pockets. That is literally what is happening. The amount of information that you have to give up about yourself in order to get a measly $150 a month to try to survive is insanity.
So I want to pause right here because when she's talking about the amount of information people have to give up in order to have SNAP benefits, listen, almost everybody is on social media. Social media has tens of thousands of touch points that you interact with on social media and in your browser. So giving up information isn't a problem for people. So if we're talking about, oh, they have to give up information about their money, about their paychecks, about their employer in order for them to receive EBT checks, okay, and they're getting something that's free, that's benefiting them, should they not have to give more information? Do we feel bad because they have to give up more information? Is it costing them more money to give up information? Is it costing them time to give up information? Probably. But you know what? When we use our time more wisely and invest it into ourselves or use it to learn a skill that'll give us leverage, you don't have to depend on the EBT system because guess what? You're now making more money. So I don't see that as an L. I don't feel bad for people who have to give up information in order to get a benefit. When you go to college and you sign up for a scholarship, you got to give up information. What are we talking about here?
You have to provide every asset you have. You have to provide every amount of money you have in any bank account. You have to provide who lives into your home. You have to provide so much about yourself. You're a constant influx of like data stream for the United States government, because then your employer where you're working, they have to submit forms that say, yep, this person is making this much, and yep, this is the amount that they got last month. And then you have to provide pay stubs, and then there's
a little pop-up. It says, then a person has to do a phone interview where you're quizzed on what you wrote on your application to verify. Bro, this just sounds like a two-factor authentication. So people can't just say, yeah, I'm doing this and I live with this many people and I make this much. They're just double checking to making sure you actually are living in a situation that you say you're in. What's wrong with that?
The second you try to improve your life, get a better job, get anything, then you have to submit that form, and then that will cut it. That will take out the money that you're trying to just have to survive, while then you have everybody yelling at you like it's your fault when so much of this is system driven.
Sure, it is system driven, but here's the thing. The goal should be to get off the program in the first place. I remember apartment hunting a couple years ago, and I went to this apartment complex that I thought was nice. Of course, they labeled it luxury. And I stepped in, and they were like, well, the wait list is over 1.5 years long. I'm like, why the heck is it that long? And she was like, well, these apartments, they have some type of home program where, you know, affordable living, affordable housing. And I was like, what does that mean? And she's like, if you make below a certain amount, then you qualify to get lower rent. And that's exactly what's happening here. I was like, how much is rent? And it was like a couple $100s. I was like, dang, for like a 2-bedroom? That's crazy. But then I thought about it. I'm like, why would I want to make less money in order to live somewhere? The crime rate is probably higher. It's probably, you know what I'm saying? It's just a whole bunch of things that just aren't going to benefit me besides the financial aspect of it. And then I thought, I'm like, okay, well, what happens if I end up making more money than what's required to stay here? And they're like, well, you'd have to move out. And in my head, I'm like, well, that kind of sucks, but I'm making more money. So, like, don't get me wrong. Let's say you make $50 more than the bare minimum, then you'd have to move out. That sucks, sure. But hopefully you're going to be making more money than $50. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below.
Alabama is now rolling out chipped EBT cards. Your EBT card will be like a credit card now. It's not the entire state of Alabama. These are the counties that they're starting with. It's like a pilot program. They're testing it out for 30 to 45 days. And they say after that, then the rest of the counties will receive chipped EBT cards. Now, only other states that have kind of adopted this already, that's kind of slowly rolling out, is Michigan and California. And you already know, once these states successfully come through and it's working good, every other state will follow suit. You know, everybody has their own time. Each state has their own time how they're going to release this right here. But that's going to be the new wave of EBT cards. You will have chip cards like credit cards now. All your information will be on the back. You're going to have your 3-digit security code just like a credit card. They say you don't have to do anything. All your money, all your food stamps or whatever, your money from the old EBT cards will flip right over to the new chip EBT cards.
I think this is going to make it more secure, but I also read online that a lot of people have been running into more fraud because it's easier to access or whatnot. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. I don't believe this is entirely new. I heard they're doing it in other states, but they're rolling it out slowly. but I'm really interested to see where it's taking it, and also what are the benefits of having a chip EBT card.
They say only problems that some people are already having because they already been rolling out in Alabama is that certain retail stores haven't updated their system, so it's showing an error. They say if it shows an error when you swipe your chip EBT card, just let the retailer know that they have to update their system, and they have to be updated to the point that if the chip doesn't work, you can use the swipe it. You know what I'm saying? But that's a new update on the EBT cards, man. Like I say, they say you have nothing to worry about. If anything, go to the site, do a little more research to make sure you know how to use them, which I'm quite sure everybody know how to use their credit cards or their debit cards. It's the same thing. But they say this is for more and better security for your EBT to protect your funds.
So that's
you know
what
what I'm
it
saying?
is.
Because a lot of people been getting got without the chip. I guess the chip make it more secure, so we shall see. Y'all already know. Big Duke out. Y'all thank me later.
Okay, cool. So more security, but I also, with new technology, it's going to be different vulnerabilities as well. So let me know in the comment section down below. Do you agree that this is going to up the security? Do you think it's going to be beneficial? Subscribe if you like the content as well. All right, my people, we're going on to the next topic, which is the last topic of tonight. This has been a really smooth show. I'm really proud where this show has gone compared to this morning show, which kept freezing up on us. But next up, we got a nurse who's making over $100,000 a year. Talking about that ain't enough. Let's get into it.
When I first started nursing, excuse me, I think we all chose nursing because it's quote unquote a really good career where there's job security, there's stability, stable income, good health benefits, all these things, right? And like when you graduate from nursing school and you start to apply for nursing jobs, right? Mm-hmm. You go ahead and you see one of these jobs that have a sign-on bonus. They're paying the most amount of money an hour, right? And like, you're like, woo, I got a good, safe job. You know what I mean? I got that job security. We lit. Yo, we lit this summer. I'm about to go to Tulum, right?
Yo, I just want to pause real quick because I don't think this is just a nursing thing. I think this is a college thing. A lot of people, especially with certain degrees, I know when I was going for computer science, a lot of people were talking about, oh, you're computer science. Yeah, that's where all the money is at. That's where all the money is at. And that is where a lot of money is at. Not all of it, but a lot of people get real hype off of what they're going to get paid. But little do they know, they're not understanding how the work-life balance is in the industry. But let's continue to see what this guy has to say.
That's what we all think about, right? But don't you ever like take the moment to think like, yo, hold up. Why are you guys giving a $20,000, $50,000 sign-on bonus? You know what I mean? Why are you guys paying so much? Damn. You don't think about it. You don't question it. All you know is that you were working at McDonald's and now you're a Ness, right? I totally get it, man. Nursing, all right. I'm not trying to shit on nursing.
He about to cook. He about to cook.
I love what I do as a nurse, okay?
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you guys the truth. There's a lot that comes with nursing, okay, in regards to the politics, in regards to the nursing shortage, in regards to burnout. You're gonna go to one of these jobs that's giving you guys a sign-on bonus, that's giving you guys all this money an hour, and let me tell you something, baby, you just got yourself some golden handcuffs. Because what happens is, your lifestyle, right, is gonna inflate, okay? It's lifestyle inflation or lifestyle creep, whatever you're gonna call it. First few shifts is gonna be like, damn, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm scared. You're gonna be freaking like, yo, you're gonna wanna quit, but what happens is, your paycheck comes and you're like, woo, forget them feelings. I feel great now.
I can
You know
see
what I
people
mean?
doing that.
You're
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
on orientation, you're a new grad nurse, whatever the case may be. You're following your preceptor, so you feel safe.
It'll
But
feel
little
better
do
with
you
time.
know, man, you have some eyes on you, right? You don't even know it. You have some eyes on you. Day one, you guys are locked in, you're paying attention, you have your stethoscope, you have all your notes, you know what I mean? Going good. You finish the first week. Now you got comfortable with your preceptor. Week 2 comes in. You probably, taking your time. Like you got everything settled. You know how it is. Week 3 comes in. Some of y'all get comfortable. You come in late, whatever the case may be. You get a little sloppy, whatever the case may be. You're getting comfortable, but you're trying to be on point at the same time. But let me tell you guys something, man. You have somebody watching you. You have some coworkers watching you, testing you, asking you some
You're
type of
always being
questions.
watched, though.
None of this, right? They didn't teach you none of this in nursing school, right? Florence Nightingale wasn't talking about none of this shit. You guys are worried about your S-bar and your assessments, right? You know what I mean? You go on the brain, you see all the things you have to do for your patient, right? But you don't see none of the drama. You don't see the politics. You don't see none of that stuff, man.
This is one of the things about.
This destroys your prostate. This destroys your prostate. This destroys your prostate. Ugh.
Why do people not know that?
Ads, bro.
You get off of orientation, you start working, man.
No, this is one of the things in corporate. This is one of the things in corporate that happens all the time. It's always politics involved. I personally don't enjoy corporate. I just keep it professional. I don't even want to talk about no touchy subjects with nobody in corporate. But I can imagine being a nurse is way more hectic. They work longer hours. You are around your coworkers more. You deal with different people who are in emergencies and people who, oh God. You're a healthcare giver. I can only imagine.
Now you're dealing with the bullshit, right? Or let's
shout out to my healthcare workers, by
Let's
the
say
way.
you just, you've been a nurse, seasoned nurse, and you just went to a new job. You started working. Probably a week of orientation. Now you're by yourself, man. You can ask for a boost. You know what I mean? Then, hey, can you just help me pull this patient up? Give me a second, I'm busy. Hey, can you can you help me out with this? Give me a second, I'm busy. Why didn't you just grab that before you went in that room? Why didn't you just, there's going to be a lot, right? And guys, I'm not here to focus on the drama or the toxic work environments, but I'm just trying to...
It's most definitely, what's the correct word for this? A high maintenance job mentally and physically. You're on your feet all day as a nurse. And again, shout out to my healthcare workers. Yo, I appreciate y'all so much. You know what I'm saying? I said a couple months ago that I went to it wasn't an ER, it was like a hospital, and I had to get some blood work done. Long story short, my feet were swelling up and I found out I had edema. And it was because I was dehydrated. I was taking creatine, but also drinking way too many energy drinks. And so I had to slow that down. So just to see like how everybody was working in the back while I was getting my blood pressure checked and everything, I'm like, bro, I got so much respect for people in the healthcare industry because some people can actually be rude and make your work day more stressful, and you still got to care for them.
in your
Respect.
eyes, okay, to the reality. All right. I'm not here to bash my coworkers. I'm not here to talk about the toxic environments, but I'm understanding that nursing is not as safe as I thought it was.
There it goes.
It's not. You see, let's talk about the economy real quick, right? Because you have a bunch of people who, basically dealing with lifestyle creep, lifestyle inflation. And now we're dealing with increasing cost of everything, right? We're dealing with increased cost of housing. So rent is going up. More and more people our age, right? Whether you're a millennial or Gen Z.
Okay, so when people be saying like rent is going up, groceries going up, and stuff like that, or let's just say rent, what goes through this head, it's always gone up. What are we talking about? It's always gone up. Oh, Jay, it hasn't gone up as fast as the past. Why are we living in the past? The people who make the most money aren't even living in the now. They're looking at what the future and where the money is going to be in the future. Where they see technology, where they see healthcare, where they see the jobs at. And job industries definitely have their highs and lows. But why are we looking at, man, my grandparents didn't have to pay this? Okay, you weren't even born. Why are we concerned about a lifetime that we didn't even live?
Can't afford to buy a house. So now you're looking for that nice, right, luxury modern apartment. So you're probably paying $3,500 a month for some next nice ass, luxury apartment. You got to get some.
And those goes the golden handcuffs he was just talking about. Why the hell are you paying $3,500 for a luxury apartment? like that's just you not being financially intelligent. It's just not. Especially if you're working for the money that you're earning. My ultimate goal is to get my living expenses so low that I'm only living on 10 to 15% of my income in order for me to supply my living expenses. 10 to 15%. My bills, once moved out, should be maybe $4,000. So whatever that number is, $4,000, whatever the percentage of 15% of, the other 85% needs to be going somewhere else.
Apartment, you feel me? You want to move out your parents' house. So now you focus on your Instagram pictures. So you know what I mean, man? Increasing in your housing automatically. Okay. Boom. That's that. Now you got a new car. Because you already know these pics got to look good on the gram, baby. You know what I mean? You got
That's the problem with people. That's the problem with this generation. We try to look good for the gram. You try to show off the people who don't care about you, who only check up on you when they want to be nosy, and you're stuck with all the responsibility.
Car, whether it's a Beamer or Mercedes, okay? So now you got that car payment up your ass. But listen. You didn't finish paying off your student loans, right? You didn't even get your first check, okay? But now, forget your student loans. You're going to pay the bare minimum, okay? But now you have this student loan balance that you got to worry about because it's still a bill you got to take care of, right? You can't file bankruptcy for your student loans. That's just the payment on top of all these payments you never had before. Now you have to pay for a $3,500 rental. Now you got to pay for your car note. That's basically $1,000. Now you got to pay for your student loans, right? But check it out. You got a credit card.
I'm still stuck on why the hell is the rent $3,500? How much do you all pay in rent? The most expensive I paid in rent, it was a 1-bedroom. It was very nice. It was new. It was luxurious. It was luxurious. It was nice. We got compliments all the time, but that's not the reason why we got it. But it was about $1,850 a month before utilities, Wi-Fi included. $1,850, and I know depending on what state and where you live and the location and stuff, but we were right near a big shopping center, a movie theater, a Target. What else was over there? Buffalo Wild Wings. It had a lot. It had a big shopping center, multiple banks, a Gold's Gym, Chick-fil-A. Like, it was in a decent spot. It was more suburban, but 1,850 was not bad for what we were getting, and it was 800 to almost 900 square feet.
Now you got good credit. Oh, you're a nurse? Absolutely. You qualify for whatever. What you want this? You want that? Bet. Here you go. Bam. New credit card. So you out here, you taking trips, you going there, you buying the design.
Yo, we got to stop living like this, man. The world wants you to depend on these payments. So you can afford the payments because you got this career. You're going to get your next paycheck so you can afford the payments. No. If you can afford the payments, look at affording the actual thing. And if you can't afford the actual thing, you shouldn't get it. Be mad at me if you want to. But that's the difference that's going to allow you to have more freedom with investing your money, making your money make you money. And when your money makes money, babies, you get to spend the money, babies, and you still keep your money that you worked for. But so many people keep themselves in a trap. You see, here's the thing. Most people let the banks and the lenders use the money laws against them. So it makes the banks and the lenders money. But most people don't use those same principles to make themselves more money. And this is the thing that I had to learn and detach from when it came down to this middle class mindset. As I'm working myself up to become a millionaire, I am looking at the mindset of the middle class. Get a great credit score. Sure, credit is important. But why do you want your credit score so high so you can get approved to go into more debt? I'm not looking to buy a home and then have that 20-year loan that I got to pay for. Is that why we're concerned about our credit? So you can get the car you want? So you can have a loan on that too? So now you got college, home, and car. That's well over $500,000 in today's economy. So why aren't we using those same principles to make us money? Jay, how do we do that? Put your money in the market, in the stock market. Learn how to not trade. Learn how to invest into options. How much of your money is making It's a simple concept. It's just that most people just overlook it, and they don't even understand why they're working so hard to afford the things that they can't afford. And then by this time, they're like living paycheck to paycheck. It's really sad.
Because you gotta be fly. All right. And that's the problem. Now what happens is you're only working 3 days, man. That's not enough. All of a sudden you was making nothing at McDonald's, but now what you're making now, it's not enough. So you need more days. So now you're like, oh snap.
It's called living above your means.
They have this they have double, they're paying this amount of money. They're doing double pay. If I work this shift, if I work that shift. So now
see, I'm good on all of that. I'm good on all of that. Nurses, whatever profession, people living paycheck to paycheck, literally having this mindset of how much work is available so they can make sure they afford the things that they agreed that they're going to pay for, is literally being on the hamster wheel, literally being in the rat race. You see, what would have saved me when I was younger from going through, losing my apartment, having to move back home with family, is not as simple as like living below your means, but living by percentages. It's called dollar cost averaging or something like that. But anyways, basically, once your paycheck comes in, you say, okay, this much percent of my paycheck is going into this account. This much percent of my paycheck is going into that account. This much percent of my paycheck is going into this account. And so you're organizing your money, not based off the dollars, but based off of the percentages. I'm only going to live off of 30% of my income. I'm going to put the other 30% into paying off debt. I'm going to put the 10% into paying for anything that I want to have fun with, right? And so now we're at 70%. I'm going to put a 15% into my savings account. I'm going to put the other 15% into my brokerage account. And so in order for me to raise my living standards, I have to make more money. But guess what? Guess what that does? When I do make more money, all the other accounts rise up as well. My savings, my investments, my fund money, my debt money, and my living expense money. And so now all my accounts are winning. Even though I raise my living standards by using more money that I'm earning, I'm also raising everything else. So I'm winning. Does that make sense? That's the way I think about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I don't even want to watch the rest of this whole video because I get where he's coming from. But shout out to the creator. You guys can definitely see his video right here, or his channel right here. I'm going to pull him up because he He's been making videos for a while. I've seen him a couple times. This is my first time reacting to him. His name is Fritz Gabriel. Oh shoot, it's not even showing up the right way. Hold on. I gotta turn off the orientation lock. It's not gonna do it. All right, it's called Fritz Gabriel. That's what his channel is called. So you can see right there on the little tag, right beside the views, Fritz Gabriel. All right. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you like the content. All right, my people, that was a smooth show. I don't see anybody in the chat, but I appreciate everybody for watching. Hopefully you got value. Let me know, do you guys enjoy watching the long form content or the TikTok content where we watch like 15 clips in one topic? Or do you like more long form like we just covered? Leave it in the comment section or the chat. Actually, I prefer the comment section because the comment section is actually where I get to reply back and everything. So I'd appreciate it if you guys do that because I want to give you guys exactly what you want as well. All right. Other than that, I'm going to be live tomorrow morning. All right. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm out. Y'all have a nice night. Peace.